I made it
Eric.
tonight. I'm here.
Okay, Erica. Holly.
I'm here.
Holly. Holly, can you give me a video check? Is that possible? And
Like right now?
yeah, that'd be good. Reba Colson, did I call you? Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Amanda's here.
Thank you, Amanda. Mm, looking for that Holly video check, is that right?
Yeah. Um, Give me a second. Casey.
I got you there. What about Amanda? Can I get one from you?
Yeah, hold on. Let me see.
And you guys can see me all right, is that right?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay, good. Thank you. So no, I don't have anything on you, Amanda. You're still a little dark here. I don't see anything.
You don't
I'm
see
just,
me?
yeah, I
Like-
got you. You're good. Yeah. Monica, are you there? Thank you. Monica,
Yes,
hit.
I'm here. Yes, here.
Good deal. I got you. Is there anybody I didn't call? Jamie, Nikki, are you there?
I'm here.
Gotcha.
Oh, Dr. Weckman, you didn't call me in.
Emma, let me see. Yeah, I got you now. Thank you. Okay, guys, be on the lookout for others. I'm going to try to start now. It's a little bit after 8. We're going to go right to the book. I think I have it open. And the book is going to talk about a shortcut for completing the inverses. We're not going to ever use it. I mean, you can read it and it works for the short ones, but on the test, they're going to give you very hard ones, and they're not. We're going to make them easy by using our calculator. So they want to find the inverse A, and they just want to. Gonna have to mute. Okay, so if you look at example 1, the inverse is the opposite of the -1 and -5. They just change positions and change signs. But on our calculator, we're going to do this. And you're going to say, well, I can just do that easy enough, but not for the larger ones. So we're gonna practice doing the -1, 3, 2, -5, and we're going to call it A. It's going to look like this. If I were to show this using our calculator, I'll first put it on the whiteboard. I'm going to call this particular matrix A. It's going to be, I think, -1, 3, 2, -5. This is 2 row by 2 column. It looks like this. And we're going to load it in our calculator like that. Let me just be sure one more time. Make sure I've got it right. And I do. So let's go to our calculator. And you should practice doing this. So I'm turning the calculator on. Boom. I'm going to go to inverses and matrix systems. So you're going to hit second, and that blue thing, all the blue, once you hit second, all the blues come into play. And so above x -1, which is the inverse button, you'll get your matrix systems. Now, the last class we loaded these, but we're going to start over again. We're going to write over these. So we're going to, in order to write over, you have to go over to edit, So we're going to arrow with our arrow, as you see me doing here. It's on A. I'm going to hit enter. Now this shows a 4x4 matrix. We're going to do by 2x2. So I hit 2x2 and enter, and it changes the design. Now -1, we have to use the -1 here and then 1. And hit enter. 3 enter. 2 enter. And then the next one is going to be -5 enter. Now we have a 2x2 matrix. Now we want the inverse of it. So I'm going to do just second quit. I'm going to go back to our matrix systems. Correction to the matrix system. I don't need to edit it, so I can just hit enter for A. A will come up. And to get the inverse of it, I simply hit this little button right here, the -1 button. Now it shows I'm going to get the inverse of A. I'll hit enter, and there it is. 5, 3, 2, 1. So let's go back and look. And you can see B is the inverse. It says 5, 3, 2, 1. Now, again, the purpose of that is to solve for problems. They want us to find the inverse of this problem here, 2, 1, 5, 3. And if you do that, look, it's the same thing as we just got through doing. But we'll do it. We'll do it again, just for practice. So we're going to do the inverse of 2, 1, 5, 3. We again can call this A matrix. We'll go to our matrix systems. And we don't need this one anymore. We'll just clear it out. We'll go back to our second matrix. We're going to edit the A again. So we're going to move over again to edit. It's still blinking on A. If we wanted to edit B, we just arrow down to B, but we're going to do A. And hit enter. It's a 2x2, so let's leave that as it is. And now we're going to put in 2, 1 and 5, 3. And we're going to do second quit because we want the inverse of this. So we're going to do second matrix system again. We're going to hit A for enter. Inverse button, simply hit this one. We'll hit enter again, and it'll give us the matrix that is the inverse of it. And it switched these two, but this time it gave us 3, -1, and -5, 2. That's pretty interesting how it does that. It's all done by the computer and calculator. Now you're going to say, well, I can do all this by switching them and changing them, but again, I caution you because you'll never get easy one like that on the test. Now let's go a little further. I think we need to go number 4. Oh, by the way, you might say, well, Doctor, what are they doing here? What's all this stuff about? This is to do it manually. And as you look at the left, they share with you it's really better to use the calculator. At least I think they do. So we're going to skip 3 because we've done 2 examples already. Let's go to number 4. Number 4 says we have a 3x3 matrix. Now, this is a little more complicated. Not in the sense for us, because we're using our calculator, but certainly in the sense if you were to use the manual method. It makes the complexity lots more challenging. But let's do this with our calculator. So we're going to go to our calculator. I'm going to get out of this. Clear. I'm going to go to our matrix system. And we'll change A to a 3x3 for practice. So we'll go over and edit it. It's on A, so hit enter. Enter. Boom. We want this to be a 3x3, so we're going to put in 3, enter, and another 3, enter. The matrix was 1, negative 1, another 1, 0, negative 2, 1, negative 2, negative 3, and last 0 I can enter twice. So that's our matrix. Now we want the inverse of it. Let's go back to the book and look at that. Now it gives you the way to do it manually, and we don't do that again. Just want to keep reinforcing it. And then it doesn't show it all the way. Now it says the inverse of this is 3, negative 3, 1, negative 2, 2, negative 1, negative 4, 5, negative 2. Let's do it with our calculator. We have it already loaded. Well, that was supposed to be a calculator. There it is. Our matrix is A. We'll hit enter. We're going to hit the inverse button again. Pretty easy. And there it is. 3, negative 3, 1, negative 2, 2, negative 1, negative 4, 5, negative 2. Very, very easy. If you know how to use your calculator. So now they're going to give you a problem, and this is a good time to do a story. But if you read the book, does anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody heard of this guy? Anybody hear of Alan Turing? Anybody know this gentleman or hear of him? Anybody? Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
He was a genius. He he probably won the war for World War II. He broke the Enigma code. But he had one issue. Does anybody know his issue? What was the matter with him? Or what people said was the matter with him? Anybody? He liked men. And the British government at that time said that that was a crime. And if you read what it says here, they put him in jail, they chemically castrated him, and he went crazy and killed himself at the age of 41. I mean, that was horrible to do that to this person. Queen Elizabeth, bless her soul, died recently, knighted him, said that he was a hero, and changed the course of perception regarding Alan. Now, I'm not promoting one sort of lifestyle versus another, but what I'm saying is that what they did to this person was wrong. I will say that. Should never do something like that. And he saved so many people's life. Anyway, I better get off that, but thought I'd mention that. Okay, so let's look at this problem. 6.4. Let me get to that problem number 5. We're not getting there yet. Let me get there. Here it is. Now, in order to solve this problem, this is 3 equations. And we want to know what solution, if any, are x, y, and z that would solve this equation. What, in fact, we're looking for is this. If you look, we have the three equations. Now, an equation, as many of you all know, as we see here, are lines. These equations are lines. And we're looking for the possibility of this point, where the x, y, and z, where they intercept one set of numbers, x, y, and z, that will solve every one of these equations, that will work in every one of these equations. That's what we're trying to figure out. Now, you know that three lines could be parallel. They could look like this. And so there would be no solution for this. There'd be no solution for this, but this has a solution. Now, of course, what we're trying to do is find the solution. So obviously, Marissa, are you here now?
Yes.
So obviously, I marked you in. We're trying to find this solution right here as shown. Okay, so let's go to our calculator. And the first line, let's turn this on again. Let's go to our calculator, matrix systems, and we'll do a 3 by 3. We're going to call this A. The first line was 1, -1, just as you see here. The second line is 0, -2, 1, just as you see here. Then you have -2, -3, and 0, just as you see here. We programmed that in earlier. Now let's go and reaffirm that. So if you look at 5, you have an x, so that's 1 in the equation matrix. The -y gives you a -1, and the z is a +1. So this is 1, -1, 1 for that. Now, the 2 on the other side belongs to another matrix. That's your solution matrix. The next line is 0, because there are no x's. Then you have a -2 for the y's, and then you have 1 for the z. The last line, you have -2 for the x, -3 for the y, and 0 for the z. Now we want to put in the other matrix, which is a 3 by 1. That's the solution matrix, 2, 2, and 1/2. So let's go back to our system of matrices. Let's go and edit B. So we're going to go over to edit. It's in the edit mode. We're going to edit B, hit enter. This is a 3 by 3 row, 1 column matrix. So it's a 3 by 1. If you get confused, it'll look just like it's supposed to. Our first number in this one was 2. Next one is 2. And the next line is 0.5 or 1/2. We can do 0.5. It's easier. And now we have both matrices loaded. Now, here's what we're doing. Let me explain now. I probably should have made before a little better, but maybe we'll do it again. We've talked about this before. We said if 3 times x equals 18, in matrix systems, we can't use division, but we can use multiplication. So if we multiply this side by the reciprocal, which is 1/3, we get x by itself. The reciprocal is also the inverse. But whatever we do to the left, we have to do to the right. So what we're doing is going to this. And that, of course, gives us 6. Now, we have our A matrix. We're going to multiply it by our inverse matrix. Or we can do B times A. and we'll get our solution. And let's see what the book says. So it gives you this. It takes the inverse of A. You can look right where it says x equals inverse. So we're going to take the inverse of A, multiply it by B, and we'll get our solution, which is 1/2 negative half 1. And we'll do that. And I'm going to show you another little trick with your calculator. So we've loaded the matrix systems already. We're going to take our A matrix, enter, the inverse of that, boom, and we're going to multiply it by our solution matrix, which is B. Just what we did before. Drop it down to B, hit enter. Now the inverse of A times B, because that's our solution matrix. Then we'll hit enter. Now on the test, if I ask you to give me all the answers in fractions, you simply hit math right here and hit enter twice. Now all of the solutions are changed from decimal to fractions. Amanda, you're not on mute, okay? Thank you.
Can you
Is there
redo
any
that?
question
Can you redo that for me?
for who?
For me, Amanda.
No, I don't want to, Amanda. I got a little bit of headache. No, I'm kidding you. What part would you like me to do? The whole thing?
No, just that last step to where it broke it up like that.
Sure. You know I'm kidding. All right, so let's look at this again. As we said before, if we had 3x equals 18, we multiply this side by the inverse. And if you do that by the inverse, you got to multiply the other side by the same inverse. So we have our A, and these are all our equation side, and they equal our B, which is our solution side. So if we take the A inverse of that, that's like 1/3, and multiply it by B, we'll get the solution. So we loaded the A matrix. Let's go back now. And under our matrix systems, let's go over here, hit edit and hit enter. This is our A matrix. These are all the numbers we got, the leading coefficients of all those numbers on the equation side. That's how we get this. Now the solution matrix were all the solution numbers. We put them under B. That was 2, 2, and 0.5. If you look at our equation, you'll see on the right-hand side we have 2, 2, and 1/2 or 0.5. If you look at the original equation, we just put it in there as on the opposite side of the equal is 2, 2, and 1/2 or 0.5. Excuse me. So we have both matrix systems, the equation matrix on the left, which we called A, and the solution matrix, which is on the right-hand side, which we call B. Now, once they're loaded in the calculator, excuse me, sneeze, sorry. Life is good. A was our equation matrix. There it is there. We want the inverse of it because we're going to take the inverse and multiply B. The inverse button is right here for x1. We're going to multiply it by our B matrix. So we got to go back up to the second matrices. Just hop down to B. We know it's there. So the inverse is times B, and then we hit enter. And there's our solution. But we don't want decimals. We want fractions, let's say. We hit math, enter twice. Changes them all to fractions. Does that help, Amanda?
Yes, perfect. Thanks.
Okay. Now, we'll do one other problem. It's actually a two-part problem. So let's say we encode a word math. We use the alphabet, so with A being 1 and so on, this is 13, 1, 20, and 8. Now, they work this vertically. It's part of the coding process. You can put it any way you want, but they write it as 13, 20, 1, 8. And they read it vertically, M-A-T-H, where the T is 20 and the H is 8. So let's go and put in the word math into our calculator in matrix systems. And then we'll have fun with it. We'll multiply math by a code, whatever we come up with, and see what happens. And then we'll multiply it back with the inverse and see if we get it back, and we will. So let's do that. So we're going to go to our calculator. Going to go to our matrix system. We're going to edit 8. It's a 2 by 2 now. And we want it to be the word math. So we use the alphabet, so that becomes 13. That's for our M. A would be vertically, but we'll do it across. This is your T, that's 20. This is 1 for the A part, and 8 is for the H. So this is the word math. Read in a code is M-A-T-H vertically. And it's loaded. Now let's go back what the book says. And the book says they want us to multiply a code called -2, -3, 3, 4. We'll call this B. And it's another 2 by 2. So B for our code is going to be 2, -2 rather, -3, and 3, 4. So let's go to our calculator again and load in that matrix. We're just practicing loading matrices really right now. We're going to do B, so we have to go to edit. We're in edit mode now. We're going to drop down to B. B is another 2 by 2, so we're going to make it a 2 by 2. We said it's -2, -3. And then 3, 4. Now that's matrix is done. So now let's think about this. Were you able to see that? Are you guys able to see my screen all right?
Yes.
So we're going to A times B. and we'll get a matrix of some sort. And let's see what the book says to do. That's what we're going to do, A times B. But let's see what the book says about it. If you look at step 3, it says to use the coding matrix first. So you're going to take B times A. If we take B times A, and then we're just following the directions on the coding, we're supposed to get the coded matrix of -29, -64, 43, and 92. So let's see if that happens. I'm going to go back to our calculator. We're going to go to our matrix systems. It should take B times A. There's A. And we're going to hit enter. And we'll get exactly what they said. -29, -64, and 43.92. I'm writing this down. Now, before we go further, and we're going to do something more related to this, let's look at this. When we've been multiplying matrices, I want you to know that there is a caveat to all this. If you have a 2 by 3 matrix, you can multiply a matrix that is 3 by 2. These numbers, when you multiply, always must match. We've been multiplying 2 by 2s times 2 by 2s. These numbers have matched. Only when the inside numbers match can you do it. This could be a 4 over here. This could be 8. But the interior numbers must match for matrix systems to work. Now, let's look at this part. I don't know if the book takes it this next step, but we probably should. So the coded matrix is shown. Now, we want to decode this matrix. So look at example 7. So in order to get the solution, we want to take the inverse. It says finding inverse matrix, which is -2, 3, and so on, and multiply it times our -29, -4, 43, 92. So the coded matrix for us, we said was B. We're going to create C matrix. So here's what we have. We took our A matrix and multiplied it. Correction. We took our A matrix and multiplied it by a code. And we got the C matrix, which is -29, -64, 43, and 92. And this is a 2 by 2 matrix. Now, if we take this coded matrix take the inverse and multiply it times C, we'll get the word math again. If we do everything correctly. Now let's confirm that thought process by going to the book. So we said we're going to take the inverse of B and multiply it times our C matrix, which we have not loaded. And we said that'll give us math again. So let's go back to the book. If you look at step 2, the inverse of the coded matrix, they show us 4, 3, -3, -2. But if you look at step 1, it gives you the matrix itself. We just have to hit a negative button on it and it'll give us that. So we just have to take negative B, correction, inverse B times C, and we're going to load C now. And this should bring our lesson to a positive conclusion if it works. So we're going to go to second matrices. We're going to put in our C matrix, which is a 3 by 3. Our first number was -29. The next number is -64. Correction, this is not a 3 by 3. Let's go back up. This is a 2 by 2. There we go. Those are all correct. Now I put in 43 and 92. The neat thing about this system is if you make a mistake, you just go up there and edit over it. Okay, so this is our C matrix. Again, we said in order to get our solution, we're going to go back to our matrix systems. We're going to take the inverse of B, so we'll hit B. There's our inverse of it. And multiply it times our C matrix. Here's our C matrix. We hit enter. And look, M-A-T-H. Now, we went through a lot of matrix stuff here. There is a lot more. But this is what you need to know. And it's covered in the material that we just went through now. Our next lesson, which will be Wednesday, November 9th, will be determinants in Cramer's rule. Now, we don't use determinants in Cramer's rule much anymore. We do determinants. But for those folks that would like to see this in advance, let me just share you where that is. Clear this out. Well, let me go to my, let me do this. Let me go to the calculator. So determinants, go to math, we're going to go over to probability. Let's see, no, wait. Let's do this. Let's go to matrix systems. Let's go to math. There they are. They're under math, but they're under that matrix system. So this is a determinant. Now you can load in there any one you want from your matrix system. So if we went with what we did today, and we have the matrix system A, let's just take a look at it. and we want the determinant for math, we would go to second, matrix systems, over to math, hit enter for determinant, and we went to determinant for A. So we're going to go into our matrix system, A, hit enter, and close our parenthesis, hit enter, and we get a number. Now, I'm not going to explain this because it's next lesson, but for those that wanted to find where determinant was, it's under math, but it's under matrix systems. There's matrix systems. We go over to math, and boom, there it is. All right, so let me go back to attendance. Now, I don't know how you could take the test without someone tell you all this stuff, but what if they tell you, life should be good because it's not hard. It's just knowing where to find the buttons. Let me go over my list of who's here. I don't keep you normally unless we don't cover everything, so we're going to be out there a little bit early. Let me just see if some of these folks are here. Did Ryan make it in? Ryan Clutch, are you here? All right. Lexa, not here. Alma Garcia, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Good deal, gotcha. Gillises are not here. Jordan, are you here? Jordan Guerrero? Oh, Jordan. Let's see, who else? Lillian Holmes Hancock. Anybody know what happened to Lillian? I'm missing her. Let's see who else. Rosie L. Morales, are you here?
I'm here.
Good deal. Are you doing okay?
I'm doing much better than I was last week. Thank you.
Good deal.
I did send you an email. Did you get that?
Yeah, I'm glad you're better. Gabriel Mulvaney, not here. Let's see who else. Venancio. Joshua Trejo. No. I have everyone else accounted for. So are there any questions of anyone?
Dr. Wick, I was just going to tell you that I know I was here part of the session last time, but I did watch the video.
Amanda, let me see. I put down you here. Let me see what I wrote on your notes.
Last week I was sick.
Yeah, I got you. I wrote down that you were at a concert that night and told me a blow-off story.
That works.
Dr. Wick, I was also out last Wednesday and I watched the video too. I sent you an email.
I got you, Nikki.
Okay.
I got that. You're good. All right. Well, everybody, then I don't try to keep this college. We finished what we had planned. Thank you and have a nice night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
You're a good. You guys are a good group. I appreciate you all.
Good
Thank
night.
you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Hope you have a very good one.
Bye, Sharon.
Bye-bye, sir.
You guys are good. I really appreciate y'all. Hunter, thank you. Bye, Dylan.